Hi diddly ho, neighborinos, and welcome to Screen Rant. I'm Greg Elliott, and thanks to Disney's acquisition of 20th Century Fox, almost every episode of The Simpsons is now available to stream on Disney+. But as happens with all TV series, especially ones that have been on the air for over 30 years, not all episodes are worth the time. But the early seasons had some great ones, and there are some that are definitely worth revisiting now that they're on Disney+.
There's nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust your picture.
The Treehouse of Horror episodes are a yearly tradition, and number 5 is considered to be by many the best of all. It's got The Shining, a great parody of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, Time and Punishment, where Homer causes major changes in the future by killing animals in the past, and Nightmare Cafeteria, a spoof of the classic Charlton Heston movie Soylent Green. There's nothing on earth like a genuine, bona fide, electrified 6-car monorail, and I still can't see one without thinking of Season 4's Marge vs. the Monorail, where a smooth-talking con artist named Lyle Lanley convinces the town to build one after they collect a $3 million fine from Mr. Burns when he's caught dumping nuclear waste in the city park. Cape Fear from Season 5 reunited Bart with his eternal nemesis, Sideshow Bob. After receiving death threats, the Simpsons enter the Witness Protection Program and move to Terror Lake. Cape Fear is ranked among the show's greatest episodes, but this next one parodies the greatest film ever made. Also from Season 5, Rosebud showed us that Mr. Burns may actually have a heart, and in the episode, he sets out to find Bobo, his childhood teddy bear. After spending time with Charles Lindbergh, Adolf Hitler, and getting frozen in ice at the North Pole, Bobo eventually finds himself with Maggie, which of course doesn't stop Mr. Burns from trying to get him back. And speaking of Maggie, in the Season 6 episode, And Maggie Makes 3, Homer tells Bart and Lisa the story of how he gave up his dream job at a bowling alley when Maggie was born. It's actually kind of sweet and one of those rare stories where we get to see that Homer actually cares for his kids.
So you loved her right from the start.
Absolutely.
In the final episode of Season 7, Summer of 4'2", Lisa decides it's time for a full makeover after realizing that no one signed her yearbook. She buys new clothes and makes new friends, but of course, Bart gets jealous of all the attention she's getting and tries to sabotage her. It all works out in the end, but the sibling rivalry might never be over. Bart and Lisa might not get along most of the time, but they do care for each other. In the Season 4 episode, Lisa's first word is proof of that. When Lisa is born and gets all the attention, Bart takes an immediate dislike to her and is about to run away until Lisa says her first word, Bart, which was voiced by the late, great Elizabeth Taylor. Homer has never been the hardest worker, and in Season 7's King-Size Homer, in order to get out of the power plant's exercise program, he gets super fat when he learns that hyperobesity counts as a disability. He eats pretty much anything he can, including but not limited to Play-Doh, and his larger size actually ends up saving the day. Going all the way back to Season 2, Lisa gets a substitute teacher in, well, Lisa's Substitute. She finds Mr. Bergstrom to be the male role model she needs in her life, but alas, substitute teachers are not meant to last. The episode also explores Homer's relationship with his kids, especially Lisa, and this episode was also the first full appearance of Ralph Wiggum. Which brings us to one of Ralph's biggest roles in the series, Season 4's I Love Lisa. When he doesn't get any Valentine's Day cards, Lisa gives Ralph one out of pity, and poor Ralph immediately chooses her as the object of his affection and starts following her around. In Last Exit to Springfield, also from Season 4, Homer becomes the leader of the power plant's union after Mr. Burns decides to revoke their dental plan. But Lisa needs braces. This one is Simpsons satire at its best and has often been called out as the series' best episode of all time. And the last one for today is Season 8's James Bond parody You Only Move Twice, where Homer accepts a job at Globex Corporation and they move to Cypress Creek. Bart realizes he can't cut it at a real school, Lisa finds out she's allergic to everything, and Marge starts drinking when their new fancy house does everything for her. And Homer's new boss, Hank Scorpio, just so happens to be a criminal mastermind who wants to take over the East Coast. There are over 660 episodes of The Simpsons on Disney+, but we hope you agree with our take on the best ones on there. Keep watching Screen Rant to stay in the loop on all things Springfield. I'm Greg Elliott, and I'll see you next time. Peace.